Set the Record. I'm Malcolm Anthony, all the way from Houston, Texas. We got Cody.
Yes, sir.
Editor-in-chief, as always. Subscribe to the show where you're watching on YouTube, listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Give us 5 stars. We out here working. Look, follow us on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter at Set the Record Pod. Like the Facebook page, Set the Record Podcast. We have a great show planned. Let's get started.
Sir, big show.
Big show, man. So, UFC 286, these guys fighting for the third time. Huge event, a monstrosity, some could say, and out in London, man. We saw the main event. What'd you think?
It was a good fight. I thoroughly enjoyed it. You could definitely, it was out in London. You could definitely feel the home court advantage over there for Leon, and it actually shocked me. The way the fight turned out and the way Leon came out and performed.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. Usman, Kamaru Usman, Leon Edwards. Their third time going. Their first fight was in 2015, and Usman won it by unanimous decision. Really, he was a dominant fighter early on in his career, and really throughout his career has carried that momentum, except against Leon Edwards, right? The first fight, or the second fight, the first fight
in the UFC,
lately, I guess, so to speak.
Their second
fight, and man. It looked like Usman was dominating the whole time until that 5th round where Leon nailed him and knocked him out cold. And in this fight, it went the whole way. And it was pretty competitive the whole time. But I felt like Leon's combinations were way more clean. They were just really smooth with his strikes. And plus, that knee, man, I thought he landed a solid knee.
That was heavy.
Ruffled the lion's feathers, so to speak. No, it was a really heavy shot, and I really enjoyed the fight. So it was a good win in London for the champ Leon Edwards, and I think Chaos Colby Covington might be getting the next shot.
Yeah, that's what they said.
Yeah, that's what they said.
What do you think about that?
I think it's garbage. Now, honestly, I think there's a couple guys. I like Kamzat. I think it's hard to pronounce this guy's name. Boers is his nickname. And this guy, I think he kind of deserves the fight. Bilal Muhammad, he's another guy who's another great fighter who I think could deserve this fight a little more. Colby's been off for about a year since that Masvidal win, because that post-fight, he got busted up. You remember in the hotel. He's been off for a while healing from that injury, but I don't think he deserves this fight first.
Leon said it himself. He doesn't see what he's done to deserve the fight, but
nope. I just gave you a few things.
Dana White says, he sees differently.
Yeah, you know why he sees differently? Because he sees Kamaru Usman versus Covington 3. If Covington, yeah, exactly. Yeah, money talks, man. And Dana's he's a very smart businessman. And a couple guys who are pretty smart businessmen as well. Justin Gaethje, the highlight. I think this guy is a phenomenal UFC fighter. In and out of the octagon, a good guy. And he put on a show this weekend in the co-main event. Fiziev was the guy he had fought, and this guy, these two guys, you mentioned it in post and pre-show, man. How that
crazy.
I think it might be fight of the night. That dude.
I think it was, man. I had to stop what I was doing to watch that one, man. I was like, oh, hold on a minute. It's getting good over here. Yeah, blood to the face, strong shots, exchanges. It was a crazy fight. I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, both guys got stunned in the fight. And I love seeing that because Justin, man, he takes those shots. And you can see him processing it, and then he just jumps back in the line of fire, man. He's insane, man. And he's going for the diamond, Dustin Poirier. So I think a rematch there would be fantastic. The Diamond's got his number, so we'll see how that one plays out for him. But another thing, because he's going for the lightweight belt, he wants to go for it one more time. And going through Dustin will definitely get him on the path to Islam. So we'll see how that works out.
Sir, we gonna see. All right, next up, man. How's your bracket looking?
Oh God. Well, obviously, I'm a man of many brackets, but the one I had posted, for all the world to see, is not doing so hot. But truthfully, with Baylor just now losing, I have 11 of the 16 teams in the Sweet 16.
Okay.
So like not too bad.
It's not horrible, you know.
Projected right now.
So in fairness to you, everybody's bracket's looking pretty rough as well. You're not the only one, man. Like this, by the second round, every bracket was broken, man. Upsets everywhere.
For sure. So how you feeling? What's yours looking like right now?
Nah, nowhere near as good as yours.
You want to talk about it? Yeah. So look. So at least we can both say our champs are still alive.
Looking good.
So both looking really good. It didn't start off well for my guy there. Number one pick potentially in college basketball. You know what I'm saying? Number one pick from college basketball.
From college. I got you. I was about to say.
I gotta be specific.
That is pretty crazy though. The fact that the top two prospects aren't even in the NCAA.
Yeah. No, seriously. Yeah, it is crazy, but that's the game right now. You saw Melo come out a freaking overseas ball. I mean, we've seen literally, we've seen this happen, and I'd honestly open the window back for these kids to come out of high school, man. So that's just me. There's lots of game and plenty to be had. So speaking of. These games have been crazy. We've had 16s beat 1s. Can you imagine what this time? What?
It was that first upset. That's the one that knocked out almost every bracket.
Yeah.
It was like 0.2%. Yeah.
Dickinson.
Exactly, bro. It was crazy. No one saw it coming. Nobody saw any of these upsets coming.
No, not even in the daytime they saw that coming.
Another one was Kansas. Kansas got upset.
Yep, man, and that was shocking. Yeah, Kansas, they lose to Arkansas, 72-71, and no repeat this year, right? No back to back.
They said absolutely not letting it happen.
Arkansas was down 8 going into the second half, which was more impressive for them to pull off the victory. Honestly, this whole tournament so far, it has been pretty wild. As you mentioned, a few of these games, the Duke-Tennessee game, man, Tennessee put the hammer on Duke. And that was one of my Final Four teams. But honestly, that one really hurt me a little bit. And Duke they played hard down the stretch. So I kind of thought I saw something in them. So we'll see. I was wrong there, but we'll see what happens with the rest of the tournament.
It's always a little bit shocking when Duke gets out early, you know?
Yeah, without no Coach K anymore. So
that is facts, but the reputation, you know.
Yeah, it stands strong. It stands strong, no doubt.
And Kentucky is out of there today. As of today, Kentucky was eliminated. That game it's a good game. I thought Kentucky could pull it out, but
yeah, I thought they were going to pull it out. Yeah, Michigan State got a victory as well. That's a big win over Marquette. Man, honestly, and Princeton winning against Arkansas, number 15 Princeton. Not Arkansas, but Arizona. Sorry, my bad.
You good?
Over Arizona. Arizona scores 82 points a game. Okay, 82 points a game. Princeton shut them down to 55. Double nickel. Okay, that's defense, man. They weren't prepared for these Princeton cats, man. They weren't ready. And that's what's even awesome because Princeton pulled that off in game 2 against Missouri. They shut Missouri down, who scores 79 points per game to only 63.
It's impressive.
Gotta watch out for Princeton.
Hey,
man.
The statistic is the teams that have some of the better defenses are the ones that win it all at the end.
Yeah, Princeton's on their way. They're on their way to the Sweet 16. And what's fucking crazy to me about this team is their tallest guy is 6'9".
That's crazy.
6'9". Everybody's shorter from there on.
He's a forward playing center pretty much.
These guys are hustling. So that's how they're getting in there. They're getting steals. They're getting blocks. And that's how they want it. So we're going to see how this all plays out, man. And it didn't help that Missouri couldn't buy a bucket. They were shooting pretty terrible from the 3-point line. So that kind of cost them the game as well. But this tournament is fantastic. I'm really the TCU Gonzaga game going on right now is the one I'm kind of eyeballing while we're doing the show right now. TCU
How's it looking?
Up 35-31 over the Zags.
Okay.
So
I thought you were gonna say they're up 35.
No.
I was gonna say you're keeping an eye on that.
No, this is a 4-point game right now.
Okay. How much time?
It is really close. It's a good game, and man, fantastic so far. And man, you actually got a team you want to shout out real quick too. Somebody you got?
Yeah, my team. The team I got winning it all. Houston, man. Houston. It's been easy, but it hasn't been easy, man. Game 1.
Yep.
Marcus Sasser goes down. They're scrapping with North Kentucky. It's crazy. But you know who steps up? Jarace Walker steps up. Jarace Walker had that game 1. Hold on, I got it right here. What was it? He had 16 points. Stepping up. Okay. You know who else stepped up? Emmanuel Sharp, the freshman, came in, hit 2 huge contested shots, and that gave Houston the momentum they needed. Moving on to round 2.
Yeah, there you go.
Sasser is back. He comes in. He drops 22 points. Hey, and you mentioned somebody else being down 8 at half. Houston was down 10 at half.
Yeah, I texted you. I was like, "Hey, man, what's going on, man?" During the fight.
It was tough, but that second half, it was turnovers.
Yeah,
it was turnovers. Everything, they just couldn't get it together. Turn up the aggression. Second half, again, my guy Jarace Walker, 6 blocks that game.
Dude, man, and that's
crazy.
What, man, y'all can bring the defense. That's what I like. Your team is long, and they are very, very good at contesting the ball.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely like Houston.
We got snipers.
It was tough to pick against them this year, honestly, swear. But y'all got a tough test coming up, so we'll see how that one plays out. Auburn, a team you guys ended up taking out, right? You guys, okay? So Auburn's a school of guys who've made it to the league. We got a guy in Jabari Smith Jr. who has flourished, who's left his great school of Auburn and moved on into the NBA, where his Houston Rockets are winning games they are not supposed to be winning. Did anybody get the memo in Houston that y'all are not supposed to be winning games?
Hey, listen, me personally, I love it for them. All right, I'm the way I'm looking at it is right now is I'm here for the development. I'm here for their growth. And as much as it pains me a little bit when we win a game, because each those picks. Seeing those guys happy backstage, seeing them, celebrate, get excited, finally be back into the games. That's what I love seeing. And these last 4 games, we just lost to New Orleans, the second game. So the win streak is dead.
It is.
With that loss and the Spurs winning tonight, we're back at number 2 odds.
Okay.
For the pick. So we're not gonna, we're in close games. It was a 10-point game, but we're still losing. So that's good. But listen, man, you were talking about Jabari Smith. Yep. Shout out to him because, he wasn't the number 3 pick for most of the year. He was playing like he was a late first rounder, but in the past 4 games, bro, he's turned it up.
Yeah, big time.
15, 7, and 1, shooting 40% from 3. He was struggling earlier in the year. He's back. He decent attempts too. He's shot like 5 per game.
Oh wow.
Knocking about a 40% clip. Jalen Green last 4 games, 26, 6, and 3. We're not going to talk about the shooting splits.
Yeah, no, your young players are good, seriously, and they got serious potential. So if they can build around them, they're going to be just fine.
Yep, and then the last guy I want to shout out is Kevin Porter Jr., 21, 6, and 7 assists. 7 assists on only 2.3 turnovers per game, showing out that he can be a point guard in Houston.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good rate.
Doubters wrong.
That's just fine right there.
Yes, sir. That's my team. How's your team looking?
Hey, looking good with that number 2 behind me, man.
Yes, sir.
40 today, the 40 burger on the Suns.
Jalen had 40 today, too.
In a comeback victory over the Suns. Yeah, look, Devin Booker tried. He had 46. Wasn't enough. 124 to 120 over the Suns. Look, in the Thunder, 7-3 in the last 10 and 4-1 in the last 5. I just want to say that the Thunder they're looking like they're going to be in the play-in.
They are. That's I'd imagine that's been the goal for them the whole year because they haven't backed down. They've been trying to win these games, and that's a good part that they're in for this rebuild. You know, they're in the part where, you know, we got our young player, we got our star, we got these surrounding pieces, we got these guys that all look good, and we're winning games now.
Plus, we lost Pokachevsky, right? And we lost Chet Holmgren. 2 7-footers. Could you imagine what kind of space Shea gets with 2 7-footers on the this
shooters too.
Yeah, I know. We got Dort out there, Isaiah Joe out there, both Williams. We've got a squad. And Young, man, I love, they fight, they're dogs. So yeah, no, Thunder roll, man, Thunder roll. So we out here, so no doubt, man. So, man, okay, somebody we got to talk. Guess who's back? Back again. Ja is back. And here to stay, I hope. So look, an 8-game suspension, 2 days in the facility to get, you know, whatever help. You know, hopefully that worked, and hopefully that is ongoing, to be honest. You know, I thought the 2 days and out was kind of quick. But I hope he does, you know, I hope ongoing, you know, he flourishes in his new set, new mindset, new attitude. And really the Grizz have been just fine without him. They started 0-2 without him, and since is 5-1. So that ain't too bad, right?
Recent win against the Warriors too, who continue to lose in the road.
Oh my God! So
11 straight road losses for the Warriors. That just came to mind. I just remembered about that. But it's
okay. Crazy. So not only 11 straight road losses, right? They are 7-29 on the road, which in the NBA that is the worst road record. Worst. Okay, look, listen. The Golden State Warriors are 36-36, right?
Yep.
7-29 on the road. The Detroit Pistons. Sorry, I jumped into football.
They made a move too.
Detroit Pistons are 16-56 this season. They are 7-27 on the road, which is a better record than the Warriors, just by 2 losses. But I'm just saying, the Pistons are nowhere near the playoffs. They have the worst record. The Warriors have a worse road record than the worst team in the NBA.
This isn't the Warriors we're used to seeing either. It's like, I don't know what's going on. It's once they leave their home arena, it's like they forgot how to hoop.
They forgot how to hoop. Yeah, 29-7 at home. That's a great record. It just doesn't help when your away record is literally the flip opposite of that. So 29-7 at home. 7-29 on the road.
Crazy.
Nothing good about that. So, question: do you think AD should be playing these back-to-backs? Now, since that loss, right? That loss, they got one more back-to-back in the season. So we'll see what happens in April. But with that loss, they are lost 3 out of the last 4. These Lakers lost 3 out of the last 4.
Lost to Houston, lost to Dallas.
Lost to the Knicks.
Look,
AD on the win streak. Remember we talked about a win streak just about 2-3 episodes ago. 35-15. AD was winning. He was 35-15. On this losing streak, AD is 21-13. You see the numbers just kind of bloop, 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 bloop.
Mm-hmm.
Fell off, man. What's he doing? They got a must-win game against the Magic tonight. I think they're up
and they can definitely win it. It's the Magic.
Yeah, up 10 at halftime. I think they're up 64.
Just gotta hold on.
4-57 now in the third quarter. So yeah, man, I don't know what's going on there. They need Bron to come back, obviously, but I don't know. I'm reading stuff that there's just so much unsureness around that because depending on Lakers seeding, he might not come back.
If he gets there, just shut down LeBron. Like if the Lakers can't get the wins and they can't get themselves in a good position,
right? And
LeBron is still not fully there, just shut him down for the season. Right. Pack it up, come back next season with that new roster that you have now.
I know.
When they have that full roster, it's
they're third in the West, second in the West. If this new roster, I'm telling you, they'd be just fine. Third in the West. I'm saying they'd be fighting for it. But look, and that's what's crazy. Clippers, another team that's kind of fighting for a position here towards the end of the season, which look, everybody knew the Clippers are going to be here. Clippers have two of the best defenders, wing defenders specifically in the NBA, and Paul George and Kawhi have been playing phenomenally these last 10 games or so. They've won 4 of the last 5. Kawhi and PG combining for 56 points average. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty damn awesome. And they're a hell of a duo. And when they turn the defense on, they're better. Because Kawhi, especially this season, you've noticed him take a little more breaks and it kind of hit and miss. But he turned it on against the Warriors. He turned it on against certain teams. He's done what he's had to do to get by. And really the only problem sometimes with these Clippers is Russell Westbrook. You know, sometimes in the wins, those 4 of those 5 wins I was mentioning, Russell only 2.5 turnovers a game in the wins. In the loss, 6.
That's what's up. Oh, there you go. That's the difference right there.
That's the difference. And I'll tell you this: in the wins, he's shooting 3 of 12 from 3, which is not good, 25%.
Interesting.
But in the losses, he's 0 of 3. So don't shoot.
When Russell Westbrook makes at least 1 3-pointer, you're set to win the game.
You're set to win the game with a Russell 3. If he doesn't make any, you're probably gonna lose.
That's funny. Hey, but I said it earlier. Just give the Clippers some time because it was a completely new roster. Ty Lue had to figure out where this guy goes, how to play these two people. The Clippers have been looking good. Russell Westbrook hasn't been playing as much down the stretch, which is probably the smarter thing to do.
Yeah, Clippers climbed all the way back up to the 5 seed, so they're definitely doing just fine. Dallas is up here, lots of teams, man. Lakers they're struggling. Right now, 1 game sitting out of the play-in, looking at Utah's ass, man. Who wants to look at the Jazz ass?
That's something crazy to say. Oh man, but yeah. The Jazz players are obviously going to try to make the playoffs. The organization is gonna not.
They're right. Yeah, they're gonna strangle these guys' minutes. They're gonna.
Yeah. Larry Markkinen, are you sure your ankle's okay?
Yeah, they're gonna rest.
No, you need to sit out, yo. Here, put this boot on.
100%. So hey,
Crazy.
two guys we know ain't resting right now. Two guys we know. We got the Joker. We got Joel Embiid. And look, we're going to start with Joel Embiid. 48 wins on the season, right?
Yes, sir. 2 seed now.
2 seed?
They've climbed up to the 2 seed.
Big time. Okay.
But Boston's lost to Houston. It was enough for
100%.
Philly to take advantage.
Yep. And they are actually tied for the 2 seed, having the tiebreaker over Boston right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Look at that. So, no, that is fairly dope news for a Philly fan. So, Joel Embiid on the season, obviously having a great year. You like the odds of this guy winning the MVP, and I'll tell you why I think he can do it. On the season, he's averaging 33 and 10, right? That's great. But in the last 10 games, he's amped that up. And I think that's what's more important to talk about because closing down the stretch for your team, for the MVP award, it's just phenomenal. So right now, as I said, 33 and 10 is his average. Last 10, he's averaging 36 points, 8 rebounds, 2 blocks, on 45% shooting from 3. 45% shooting. He's a 7-foot big man, dude. He's large. He's shooting.
No, he's very large, and.
Sorry, go ahead.
Not only is he shooting threes, but moving threes too. It's not like not like he's catching shooting. I've seen this man hit a whole step back to ice the game.
For real. So that's what I'm saying. So 62% from the field and almost 83% from the free throw line, which some superstars ain't good at free throws. This dude's 7 foot tall and can stroke the free throw line. So in their last 8, they've won 8 in a row, 9-1 in the last 10. And I think the MVP moments, which we've spoken about many times on the show, are the most important. He got the buzzer beater over Portland this year. He's got, many tricks in his bag, as you mentioned.
The shot over Jokic.
Shot over Jokic, which we'll talk about that in a second. And they got a rematch coming
Mm-hmm.
Friday, the 27th.
We're gonna tune into that one for sure.
This month, next
Big
week,
game.
this week, yeah, 27th. So man, I'm telling you. So we're gonna talk about that. So you like Joker's chances? I mean Embiid's chances, right?
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing, because so far down the stretch, you mentioned last 10 games. Last 10 games, that's what matters, because recency bias is crazy, man. So when those MVP voters are voting,
Yeah.
what's happened more recently is gonna be more fresh on their minds. And if Embiid's been out playing Jokic for the last 10 games, that's what they're thinking about. He's been better to close the stretch. No one's gonna remember what happened in game 3 of the season,
Yep.
compared to game 82 if somebody hits a game win.
100%. And
Momentum matters.
matters for sure. And as I said, 9-1 in their last 10 for Philadelphia, and Denver 5-5 in their last 10, and struggling lately. They did get a win today against the Nets, and looking just fine in that game. But they did previously lose 5 games in a row almost.
Like that.
It was looking pretty bad there for a moment. But like I said, 5-5 in their last 10 games. And I'll give you the Joker's numbers, obviously, right? 26 points in the last 10 games. Sorry, last 10 games, like I said, most important right now, recency bias. So 26, 9 assists, 13 rebounds on 36% from three. Remember, Joker was doing 45. Look, I mean, man, I keep doing that.
You good? No way.
Embiid keeps dogging this guy from three. No matter where they're shooting from, the percentage is going to be better for Joel Embiid. Is all I'm trying to get at. And truthfully, their matchup, as we mentioned before, their one-on-one, the head-to-head. There was no debate.
Joel showed out. He had the chip on his shoulder that game. He was out to send a message. He was out to prove to the media, this is the guy you gave the MVP over me. The last 2 seasons.
100%. Yeah. So yeah, in their first meeting, which we'll have the rematch this week. First meeting, Joel Embiid 47 points versus the Joker's 24. Right. I mean, they both had pretty high turnover games, unfortunately, in that basketball game. But Joel also got 18 boards to Nikola's 8. You see what I mean?
Which is strange, because usually Nikola is actually a really good rebounder, and he gets over 10.
Now when he got a big guy guarding him like that,
not if he got another big body, right?
Who wants it more? So, and that's what Joel proved that game, and he did it from three. Joel was 4 of 7 from three that game. Really just shooting all over the place. Really wanting to put the mustard all over Joker, and just put it on him, man. So the MVP race down the stretch is just. It's gonna be crazy. Plus, you got Giannis out here, still out here.
Giannis trying to say, don't forget about me. This is, the MVP race is a lot closer than we're making it seem, because we both have the same pick.
Yeah, right.
It's a almost 3-man race for the MVP. And the last time I can remember MVP race being this close was the 2018 one. When it was Harden, Paul George, and Giannis.
Okay, yeah.
And then it ended up just being Giannis and Harden. I feel like it's going to be similar to that, where down the stretch, it's going to be down to just 2. And I think those 2 are going to be Embiid and Jokic, right?
That's why I mentioned today. Yeah, that's why they were my hot 2 today, because, it just seems like down the stretch, man, these 2 guys are going to be the hot topic. So, yeah, no doubt.
As of 2018, potentially this could be the closest the MVP race has been, because, Jokic is still putting up numbers. He's the new Mr. Triple-Double right now, as a center.
Yeah.
So it's he kills the advanced stats, but Embiid's just been dominant, and his team has been better. But yeah, man, it's kind of weird. It's always weird to judge, especially when the criteria is changing every year.
Oh, absolutely.
I think that, the other thing that Jokic has on his side is that he's Serbian, and the NBA is trying to push the international thing, which is a big reason. Not a big reason, but it's one of the reasons why he's won it before.
Yeah,
They're trying
well,
to push the international game
I think it helps Embiid that the Joker's won the last two
because
because
then fatigue,
I
voters
can't give
fatigue.
exactly. I can't give him a third.
The other
And
thing is, how many people have won three in a row before? You know who the last one was?
you fucking bird.
Yeah, Larry Bird.
Yeah,
So if you give
that's what I'm
Jokic
saying.
three, you put him on the echelon of like Larry Bird players.
Okay, yeah. You gonna say he better? You gonna say Joker's better than LeBron? You gonna say Joker's better than Kobe, Shaq?
Jordan, Jordan hasn't
Jordan.
done it.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, man. That hurts my head to think about. So nah.
So it's no discredit to Jokic because he is having an MVP caliber season.
Absolutely,
And if he,
absolutely.
and if he hasn't won the last two, then he might be in higher considerations. But I do think that this is Embiid's trophy for the taking.
Yeah, definitely right now, man. Right now, I got him at the top of the mountain, looking down at these guys. So we'll see how it plays out the rest of the way. Just a few games to go, man. Great show today. Great show, man. Cody killing it as always. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Set the record. Subscribe to the show, of course, wherever you watch or listen. We out here. 5 stars. Meditate. Make it go away.